Good morning. Welcome back. This is a year-end wrap. I thought it was only fitting to come to you today on December 29th and just kind of recap everything that's happened over the past year. I know it's been something that I've wanted to write and put down on paper and get out to folks, and yet I just haven't had the time to do that. It's December 29th. There's a couple more days in the year. We have an event coming up in a little less than 3 weeks, a new event, mind you. You know, quite honestly, I'm kind of in full out panic mode. All of what should be happening is happening, but unlike, your very first year when you try something, we know a lot more now than we've ever known before, and we know now that some of the mistakes that we should have made that we did make with Austin, it'd have been great to have started 2, 3, 4 months ago, but such is life. Down a journey, you become smarter. I think you also learn how to identify the things that you don't necessarily know, and thus you can freak out a bit more than normal because you're just smarter in that whole regards. I'm proud of what we've done and where we're going, but that being said, it's the 29th and I'm freaking out. But let's rewind. In 2020, we all were locked up in a pandemic. We didn't really know where things were gonna go. TC got canceled. We hit the gas on building that.us with the intention of building a new platform that would connect us all better, maybe a new social network. We hit the gas hard. We did one virtual event, which was the first time on that.us. We continued to build away. We opened it up for daily use, whatnot. As we came to the end of 2020, what really needed to happen was how are we going to facilitate what was going to be the in-person July event? And there was a lot of work to get done. Mainly, how do you sell tickets? What would be the revenue that we would try to earn to support all the things that we had plans on doing? And we really broke it down into a few different ways. One was ticket sales. Have an event, ticket sales, sell a ticket. We would try to diversify the tickets as much as we could to kind of open up that opportunity to more. We were set on hybrid. From here on out, what does a good hybrid event look like? What would be our strategy? How would we do it? How would we facilitate it, support it? All the things that were there. What would a regular cadence of online events be, albeit that online? And lastly, how would sponsors fit into all that rather than just having a logo on a website? How could we have an experience for them? How would it tie back together to the platform and everything that was done? And then lastly was this notion of a membership. Could we offer something to the community to where they could support us financially, such that we could focus on the things that brought value versus, not that we sell data because we don't do that, but having said that, we need money to support the endeavors. So, and my thing is, if you feel like we're doing a good job in what we're doing, then there's a membership. Your willingness to buy one of those things is an indicator of how we're doing or not doing and everything. So all that being said, that was how the year started out. We had nothing but a ton of stuff to do. We didn't have event listing pages. We didn't have ways to buy a ticket, process a ticket, or process payment, process a ticket, secure that to an event, whatnot. And all along, we needed to figure out if and or but when could we do TC in July. And in the beginning of the year, we were heads down, plugging away on getting the platform to support an in-person event. And that meant building those event pages, the design of that. We built a ticketing system, the cart, the purchase, the integration with Stripe, the revenue on the back end, how does that get allocated? How would we do a refund if we needed to? How do you bulk allocate a ticket or tickets? How do you associate them to your partners and sponsors and the different ticket types? What does that look like on the front end to purchase and all the different types of things that go into that? How do you do things like collect t-shirts and feedback, and not collect t-shirts, but collect questions and feedback and all that good stuff? Did we underestimate the amount of work there? I mean, yes and no. I think it took a little bit longer than we wanted, but come April 1st, we launched the membership program, and we didn't hit our goal of number of members for 2021. We hit half of that, or close to half of that, which I'm super proud of. It was a big step for us, and we learned a lot, and I thank everybody who has been part of that and given us feedback and everything that's there. It'll only continue to get better. That being said, that was the first kind of foray into our site, doing the transactions and pulling it against your profile and all the stuff behind it. So, we obviously had to fix some things, whatnot, and then we went into kind of ticket sales for Wisconsin. And, Wisconsin was started off late. We were waiting until the last minute that we could to try to make the decision whether or not we could have it or not have it. And at some point, you just kind of have to go with it. And we did. And we kind of took it a week by week and reevaluated what we would do on site up to all the different things that were there. And we had a whole bunch of stuff to build along the way. So not only were we planning, but everything that we used to facilitate an event, like registration, check-in, lead generation for sponsors, shared profiles that we have now for y'all, that all had to be built. We were grinding away day and night, 7 days a week. I think it's been 7 days a week for 2 years. But we were grinding away, plugging it out, getting it done. And at that time, and still now, I was all right with being late if late meant we were doing it better than we'd ever done before, and it would save us time in the future. So let's do it right the first time. If we're a little behind in our deadlines, so be it, but let's do it right and not revisit this ever again. And we got to Wisconsin, we had 400 folks, somewhere in there. It was an amazing 10th year. All things considered, budget being what it is, the fact that it was a lot like the first year in the sense of a lot of newness, new systems, just new, climate with COVID and all that crap. It was a wonderful event. It was small, it was intimate, it was very engaging, proved again that, we all need one another and our physical manifestation of who we are, and it was good. Now in the background, Texas was going on, and what were we gonna do for Texas? And could we get a dates lined in, and when would it be? And we're watching all the other industry events going on and how they're working and where would it work optimally for us. In the case of Wisconsin, it was about, best time in the summer for everybody to come. In the case of Texas, it's more of like cost and convenience to some degree for us because we can't do two in the summer. Literally during the event in Wisconsin was when we were able to at least have a verbal agreement on what we were going to do for Texas, and we landed in January. And no real good time at that time. The only planning that had started was really us locally, or us kind of internally trying to figure out what we would do and not do. And of course, adding another event meant by the time we got to Wisconsin, we needed to have Texas loaded, because what we wanted to do was once we knew when we were going to do it, we would launch Call for Speakers. And of course, that there's a process around Call for Speakers. While we were getting Texas set up, at the same time, we were also getting Wisconsin 2022 set up. And here in 5-ish days or whatnot, Call for Speakers kicks off in Wisconsin. It's all ready to go. In fact, that Wisconsin event is probably more ready in some regards than the Texas one, which is coming here in a few weeks. So we verbally agreed on kind of what we were going to do with the Kalahari and when. We launched Call for Speakers and then started advertising, but it was at that point in time, it was the only slice in time where we could do a big platform upgrade. So when we first launched That.us, it was launched as a spa app with Svelte. We knew that Svelte kit was coming and wanted to wait till it was just more stable before taking it on. Decided that, while Call for Speakers was going on, we would do the Svelte kit upgrade. That was important because we needed better SEO and a whole bunch of things around just that platform in particular. It was an active decision from when we started making That.us to when we were going to upgrade. They were all knowing things, but here it is. Time's there. Very short time frame to really kick off and get that done. And so I took a kind of a half week off after, or Carrie and I took a half week off. Brett hit the road and we started on the Svelte kit upgrade. That took longer than anticipated. It also took us a little longer to get the word out for Call for Speakers. I think it caught most people by surprise, rightfully so, and just grinded away on what would be turned out to be a humongous platform upgrade. It was great, wonderful support from the community, fixed a lot of things, made a lot of things better, made loading times a lot better, made some of the user interaction around login and sign up and URLs, just made a ton of things overall better. But it ate into the time of marketing for Texas. We ended up being kind of a month late on all of that, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Brett hit the road for a vacation. He ended up going down to the Kalahari, getting it checked out, took a ton of pictures, so we knew exactly kind of what we were dealing with. And when I say pictures, I'm talking ceiling tiles and things of where we would start to map out where we'd hang stuff. And at this point, we're working with Kalahari to figure out what's going on down there. We're trying to figure out what a production company, transport looks like, designs, the whole nine, while trying to get better at marketing, which is something we've never really been good at. But now we've got this machine. We went through and picked the speakers and started going to town. The system now, it's easier for us to, we now have an enrollment process for speakers. We're gonna roll that same thing out to ticket holders here as soon as I get it finished. And we were, fixing lots of little things. There was some back-end upgrades that needed to be done. There's some year-end stuff that kind of comes up. Of course, after this holiday, we kick off the Call for Speakers for Wisconsin. So we can't lose sight on that timeline that's coming by any stretch, because we're finally gonna get regulated, if you will. Finally, the time will become normal again, at least for that Wisconsin event. And now for the past month and a half, 2 months, I've done less code and a lot more interactions, from working with the local papers to the user groups to influencers, in and around Texas, to venture capitalist firms, companies. We're becoming part of the fabric in Texas. Is starting to happen. Maybe it's a little late. Well, it is late. Arguably it would have been nice if it was a year ago, but such is life. You only know what you know. And here we are. We're a couple weeks out from Texas. Every indicator that we seem to know from other things that have happened, we should do a good amount of ticket sales in this last 2 weeks. It seems like folks are waiting to the last minute to buy stuff. We have a fiscal year for half, most, some, I don't know, where people were just holding off until January. There's a bit of waiting to see, are we still gonna do it or cancel? Believe me, we're doing it, like it's on. And we're grinding away. Right now, this quote unquote break, you will, there are code things to get done while everybody's not paying attention. We did some big package upgrades yesterday. We got some new features out around the schedule. We got finally some better kind of route landing images, and SEO stuff, continue to get better and better, because we got ad campaign starting tomorrow, which is super exciting. First time that we've done anything like that. Nothing crazy, if you will, but when I think of our involvement here going forward, we want to make sure that we are part of the fabric, the conversation that exists, not only in our tent pole areas, the upper Midwest and Texas, but really, we're starting to have that impact across the globe. And that's the thing I think about, right? I think from where we were in the beginning of 2021 to where we are now, the platform, while it needs upgrades and things, and there's features still to be done, now a lot of my time hopefully will be spent really making those community connections and growing it and being able to service everybody better and becoming part of this, fabric, if you will. So it's exciting. But like I said, I'm still scared shitless about Texas. I'm excited about all the things that are happening, but financially, we're burning money. We need to sell tickets. We just need to have a good show, if you will. It was never meant to be this huge banger of an event. It was meant to be a really, really good first time. There were a lot of things that we had to figure out, like semi-trucks and, just kind of doing things in two places. And the two markets, if you will, operate completely different, and that I severely underestimated. I thought they would have been a little closer. They're not. They're not at all. And quite honestly, that's almost exciting. But we have a lot to figure out. We have a long road ahead of us. Long road to the Lone Star State. Yeah. So 2021, much like 2020, has been an incredible year of a lot of work, a lot of support from a lot of folks at a scary time. And by scary, I mean financially. We're going into 2022, and I hope to kick it off with what will be something amazing for the years to come. I'm incredibly humbled to be in this position to support so many, developers and just folks in the tech community. I get to hear the stories. I get to see people grow. It's a wonderful thing. I've said before, we're just getting started, and I do still believe that. It's neat to see how things are starting to kind of come together and move forward, and even things like these videos and getting them out and being all right with just sharing some of my own trials and tribulations. And I don't speak for Carrie or Brett. You get to hear my side of things. So I'm not going to push out another video until the flip of the year. I want to get heads down and get a few things done. It's an exciting, scary, humbling time to be a few weeks out and us to have this new event coming. And go tell your folks, buy a ticket, get on that.us, tell us how we can always do better, how we can support you. Looking forward to 2022 hitting us and rolling. I'm looking forward to getting back to a little bit of a more normal cadence and normalcy as things calm down in this crazy climate that we have going on at the moment. So with that being said, that's 2021. A little longer today. Appreciate you listening. If you made it to the end, God bless you. Happy New Year, happy holidays. That's the end of 2021. Well, it's not the end yet, but that's this end of 2021. Thank you for everything, and I'll see you next year.